Hello everyone, how are you? This is Professor Adriano. I am a physical therapist with a master's degree and currently a doctoral student in physical activity and health at the Federal University of Paraná. And we're here to quickly and simply share 3 exercise tips to stimulate our brain, right? Why do we need to stimulate our brain, right? Our brain over time, throughout our lives, adapts to our routines, our habits, and the things we normally do, right? And this makes us very good at some things that we always do and not so good at others, right? Because our brain works based on the stimulation it receives, right? Just like a muscle which gets stronger when you exercise it, it grows, right? It is stimulated and it responds to that stimulus, and our brain works in a very similar way, right? If we strengthen it, do exercise for the brain, our brain will form new connections. It will strengthen some of them, right? And this means in our daily lives, a better distribution of activities. We can improve some aspects that we sometimes neglect a little, okay? So we're gonna quickly go through 3 exercises that you can do with us. So set aside 5 minutes, get ready so that we can stimulate our brains in a slightly different way today, all right? So let's get started. The first exercise we can do is, with one hand, we're going to make a movement here in the chest area, right? And with the other hand, we tap. So one hand moves up and down, and the other taps. You can do this exercise, this activity, for about a minute or 30 seconds. Was that easy? Switch. With one hand, massage here, and the other hand taps. You'll notice it starts to get a little harder. So that's the exercise. Is it still easy? Close your eyes. That's it. Very good. You can, simply plan to do 1 minute of the exercise with one hand tapping, then switch, and then do 1 minute with your eyes closed to make it a bit more challenging, okay? If it's easy, you can also increase the speed, okay? So let's work our brain this way. Another way for us to work and exercise our brain is this. You start with both hands closed, right? And what are we going to do? You're going to open your thumb and pinky finger in the same direction on one hand and on the other hand. Start by moving one hand and then follow with the other hand, making sure to alternate between them in a steady rhythm. If you find that this movement feels easy and comfortable, try gradually increasing your speed, going a little faster each time. As you continue, you might begin to notice that maintaining the correct rhythm and coordination becomes more challenging than you initially expected. This exercise may look simple at first glance, but as you pick up the pace, you realize it's not quite as easy as it seems. All right? If it gets easy, same thing, keep doing it faster and faster, and then you can also try it with your eyes closed to see how it gets more and more difficult, but the tendency is that as you repeat it, it will become more natural. The movement will feel more natural, okay? And the last exercise, today's tip for us to do, is a stimulation, right, of our brain in a slightly different way. So with one hand, you're gonna make a circle, and with the other hand, you're gonna make a triangle. Try to repeat a circle and a triangle. Don't worry if your shapes aren't perfect. Mine doesn't look anything like a triangle either, and that's completely normal when you're just starting out. The important thing is to keep practicing, because as you repeat the motion, it gets a little easier each time. You might notice your hand becoming more comfortable with the movement and your shapes gradually looking more like what you intend. Now, switch sides. This means changing which hand is drawing the circle and which is drawing the triangle. By alternating hands, you give both sides of your body a chance to practice, which helps improve coordination and balance. Take your time and remember, the goal is progress, not perfection. All right? You can also switch hands. So you can make the circle with the other hand and the triangle with the other. It's extremely difficult, but as you keep repeating it, it becomes more natural. Because our brain adapts, right? It's like very good. You can do it with your eyes closed and faster to make it more challenging, okay? Quick, simple exercises, right? If we look into the scientific literature, we find that cognitive training has been used, increasingly used, as a way to maintain brain health, cognitive functions always, preferably combined with physical exercise, right? So aerobic training is essential for cognitive functions, as are strength training, weight training, and endurance training, right? But we can also, why not include these cognitive exercises as well, which require little time and will help with our cognitive function, with maintaining it, and why not stimulating some functions that are already a bit weaker, where we already have a bit more difficulty, right? So these 3 tips are extremely quick. Yeah, share this. See if you have someone check with your father, your mother, your grandfather, your grandmother, or someone who's there with you. Invite them to do it together with you and see who has more difficulty doing these activities. And if it's really hard, start practicing these activities every day. You won't spend more than 5 minutes, I'm sure of it, and it will help you a lot. A hug, and I'll see you in the next videos.